Welcome back. We are now on part 6, FX components. Purpose of this part is to use FX elements properly. The composition process is finished and our raw loop seems to be ready for some FX action. Let's open the mixer by pressing the mixer icon. I will select Insert one channel first. But which instrument was assigned to this channel? To figure that out, I will open Step Sequencer again. So we assigned our kick to Insert 1. Great, let's start with our kick. I will return to the mixer. Let's rename this insert channel by right-clicking on it and select Rename Color icon. We'll type kick again. Okay, what shall I do next with this kick? Questioning this section is crucial. Do I need to put a reverb on it to make it bigger? Or do I need to compress this kick by using a compressor? Maybe an equalizer will help me. We need to do what is necessary. To determine this necessity, we have to know what kind of kick we want. In the beginning, I said we need a thin and tight-sounding kick. Let's listen to the kick again in solo mode to determine the necessity well. If we want to solo the kick on the mixer, we can simply move our cursor here and right-click on this green dot once. Other green dots disappeared. That means they are muted. I will play our kick line in solo mode and also check the spectrum analyzer as well. This kick is thin, but it may clash with our bass line with its sub-bass frequencies. That means I can use an equalizer to cut out some sub-bass frequencies from the kick. Why cutting sub-bass? If I cut some low bass profile, kick will get thinner. Also, we are using a powerful sub-bass instrument in our loop. To make that sub-bass dominant in sub-bass frequency region, kick must not have those frequencies. Otherwise they will clash and sound muddy. But before adding an equalizer to our FX slot 1, let's return to our sample settings menu of the kick. I see the alt knob again, right here. Let's make this kick shorter by turning the alt knob first. My value is 55%. Let's hear it again and check the spectrum analyzer. I will compare this kick's before and after styled spectral profiles. It is shorter and less bass. But still, we can cut some bass to further isolate it from the sub-bass instrument. I want to see the latest profile of our kick again. In this region, which is bass region, our kick's most powerful peak is 127 Hz. Top right corner of the spectrum analyzer gives me this information. So I will take some action while considering this 127 Hz peak. Because this kick's main character lies around 127 Hz. I want you to rename Insert 1 channel, which is the place where kick assigned. After that, go to our kick's sample options menu to tweak the alt knob. Value is 55%. You can pause the video while doing this. Let's return to Mixer's Insert One channel. There are slots on the right tab. From 1 to 10, these are FX slots. Let's click on slot 1's arrow icon. This menu contains various plugins, our FX tools. I will go for an equalizer and select Fruity Parametric EQ2 plugin. I want you to open a Fruity Parametric EQ2 plugin like me. You can pause the video. There are several ways to cut or boost frequencies. But this time, I will cover only one method to cut out our kick sub-bass. I can expand this equalizer plugin by double-clicking on here. As you can see, there are some circles with numbers from 1 to 7. This means our equalizer is a 7-band equalizer. We can apply cut or boost on each band. I want to cut some sub-bass, but where shall we start? Bass frequencies are walking around the left side of the equalizer. If I move my cursor on the first band, I can see a 63 Hz indicator. Well, we don't want any rumbling bass on our kick. So 45 Hz can be a good starting point. Before cutting, we should say this. Do we have any 45 Hz information in our kick? If we don't, then there is no point of this cutting action. While soloing the kick, I will go to Spectrum Analyzer again to see its low bass frequencies. Let's close this equalizer for now and select Master Channel again to open our Spectrum Analyzer. Then I will press play button. Yes, we do have some 45 Hz information, but not much. 45 Hz and below will make our kick bigger, wider. So we don't want this due to the context of this project. I will open the equalizer again. I should go for band 1 to cut out some low bass. This section here is our control panel. We can tweak various knobs to achieve things. This purple knob here belongs to band 1 and we can select the desired frequency with this knob. If I turn this to the right, our band 1 will move to the right side. If I turn this to the left, the band will move to the left side like this. Our detected region was 45 Hz, so we should move this to the left to reach 45 Hz. If I right-click on this band circle, a menu shows up. We need to select the cutting or boosting type first. So I will move my cursor on the type selection. 8 different options showed up. A good way to deactivate a group of frequencies is setting up a low pass or a high pass. Low pass means below of that selected frequency will stay, but others will get cut. High pass means above of that selected frequency will stay, but others will get cut. For example, if we select 500 Hz and put a high pass on this frequency, equalizer will keep the frequencies above 500 Hz and cut below 500 Hz. So this is a filter. In this case, we need to put a high pass filter on 45 Hz. I will select high pass option. Our filter's cutting curve is pretty broad right now. It cuts a lot of higher frequencies as well. We want a special type of curve for the kick. If I right-click on the band 1 again, I can see there is an option called Order. Move my cursor to see its content. This menu is our curve options menu. We can select a cutting curve, which suits our purpose as well. If I select Gentle 8 for now, my curve changes like this. I want you to control band 1 on the control panel section and get to 45 Hz. Put a high pass filter on 45 Hz. Change the cutting curve to Gentle 8. You can pause the video while doing this. Okay, Gentle 8 curve still cuts some higher frequencies but not as much as before. To avoid this, we can adjust the width of the curve. I will move my cursor to control panel again. This knob here also belongs to band 1 and tweaking this will change the width of the curve. I can tweak this to left and right like this to see the changes. But this time, I won't tweak that much. I can see another number here if I move my cursor on band 1 circle. It says 61%, which is our width percentage. I want this to prevent cutting higher frequencies, so I will decrease the value to achieve this. Equalizer's graphical interface helps me to see the differences. 53% is decent. As you can see, it starts the cutting process on 100 Hz. So we are keeping our 127 Hz safe. I want you to set the width of high pass filter to 53%. You can pause the video. Let's hear the kick and also analyze its new form. I don't hear the lower rumble that much anymore. If I open Spectrum Analyzer, I see that there is no 45 Hz information. Here's the thing. We applied a high pass filter on the kick, but we made it in isolation. Our main idea was to remove the rumbling bass from the kick and leave room to our sub-bass instrument. But we applied the high pass filter on kick while in solo mode. What if we unmute the bass instrument and apply the cut relative to bass? Let's do that. I will go to mixer again. My bass was assigned to insert 5 channel, so I will rename it to make things easier. I will left click on the circle to activate or unmute the bass instrument. Let's hear them both. I hear some sub-bass clash, especially on the slide section of the bass. In this case, we need to apply the high-pass filter on a higher frequency to avoid sub-bass clash on low bass areas. Let's open Kick's equalizer again. And I will press play button. While listening to kick and bass, I will slowly tweak the frequency knob to find the sweet spot. Okay, my sweet spot is 55 Hz. I don't hear any major frequency clash. I want you to rename our insert 5 channel, which belongs to the bass. Unmute that channel as well. Go to Kick's equalizer and tweak the frequency knob to get to 55 Hz. Don't forget to pause the video. We applied a cut. But also, we lost some characteristics around 127 Hz during the process. To recover the character of the kick, we can apply some boost now. I will open Kick's equalizer again. Move my cursor to band 2. This time, we need some local boost around 127 Hz. I will tweak my band 2 frequency knob to get on 127 Hz. Our equalizer's default parameter on this band is peaking parameter. If I move my cursor to this area and start boosting, we can see the peaking effect. 0 dB means no change. Positive values will boost. Negative values will cut that region. We want this area to be boosted, so I will boost it about 2 dB. I won't touch this band 2's width this time. Default width is decent for now, which is 39%. Let's hear it. We added some thump and punch to our kick. Let's hear bass and kick together. No major clash again. I want you to use band 2 to boost 127 Hz about 2 dB. Don't forget to pause the video. We don't have to boost a lot. 2 dB boost will give a decent tone to our kick. Too much boost on a single frequency may end up with harshness. It is like boosting only one color of a television. The result may sound monotone and harsh. Also, cutting a region too much may end up with weakness. Equalizing an instrument needs to be transparent, and the result should sound as natural as possible. If you want to boost or cut some frequencies, you can trust your ears while doing this. Apply boost or cut only if necessary. Equalizing with hearing is the best way. In the end, your ears will give the final verdict. This time, I will move to insert 5 channel to work on our sub bass. Again, I will open an equalizer. Sub bass is dominant in sub bass region, so I don't want to cut out low bass frequencies. But if I want to leave room to other high-pitched sounds, I can put a low-pass filter. Let's analyze our sub bass in solo mode. I see some movement around 200 Hz. I want the bass to be really deep and trapped in sub bass region. Well, let's put a low-pass filter. I will open the equalizer on sub bass channel. If I want to throw a low-pass filter, I should go for band 7. Let's right-click on band 7 and change the type option to low-pass. As you can see, low-pass is the opposite of the high-pass filter and it will cut higher frequencies while saving lower ones. Again, I will make its order option to gentle 8. Where shall we put this filter? We will make this decision while considering the kick. Our kick's most dominant bass properties are around 127 Hz. Also, our bass has some 80 to 100 Hz frequency profile. If I press play button again while the equalizer is opened, I can see some movement around 80 to 100 Hz. Let's put this low-pass filter on 100 Hz with a width of 55%. I want you to open equalizer on sub-bass channel. Turn band 7 into a low-pass filter. Select Gentilate for cutting curve. Place this filter on 100 Hz. Width is 55%. You can pause the video while doing this. But why putting on 100 Hz? If we enlarge the equalizer and check the cutting values, we can see that we reach -6 dB on 83 Hz. So the amount of cut is 6 dB on 83 Hz. 83 Hz is our sub-bass instrument's high-pitch note profile. When our playback engine plays the E2 note, the highest note of sub-bass, it produces a sound around 83 Hz. If we take a look at the spectrum analyzer, we can see the peak of the highest note. Besides, if we return to equalizer again, we can see that we cut a lot of spectral information above 117 Hz. That means there is nearly no 127 Hz information in our sub-bass anymore. So, our kick's highest bass frequency peak won't clash with the sub-bass, which is a good thing. Let's return to our kick's equalizer. I will press the play button again to analyze it further. We have a considerable amount of 83 Hz information in our kick. And we cut 6 dB out from our sub-bass instrument's 83 Hz, which is a good thing too. We left some space to our kick as well. And we do want to also feel that punchy effect of the kick in this project. The point is, we didn't sculpt our kick and bass in total isolation. We considered the relations between them. I will move to snap instrument. Let's hear it in solo. What needs to be done? Well, I just want to put a high-pass filter on this one, because I hear a bit bass movement below 300 Hz. Besides, snap doesn't need to be bass. Let's rename insert to channel. I will type snap. After that, I will open an equalizer on this channel. I will make band 1 a high-pass filter. Our cutting curve will be Gentilate again. Let's move this filter to 300 Hz. I don't hear the lower noise anymore. What about the width of the curve? If I move my cursor on this width knob and right-click on it, I can see a reset option. Left-clicking on this once will reset the width value to default. I want you to rename insert to channel. Open an equalizer on this channel. Make band 1 a high-pass filter, put it on 300 Hz. Cutting curve order is gentle 8. Go to width knob, right-click on it and reset the width value. Don't forget to pause the video. I will move to hi-hats and rename it first. Let's hear it in solo. They sound harsh. Each hit has a long length. That makes them spiky. Before any FX action, we can make them shorter. Let's open our step sequencer again. To open sample settings menu, I will click on the instrument's name box. Alt knob will help us again. 100% is good for now. Do we need to take any further action? Everything sounds fine for now. I want you to rename Insert 3 channel. Go to Step Sequencer. Then open Sample Settings menu of hi-hats. Turn the Alt knob until it reaches to 100%. Time to go for the piano. We assigned it to Insert 6 channel, so I will rename it and type piano. Let's hear it in solo. What needs to be done? This is the melody and it carries the main spirit of the loop. Technically, it needs to sound wider than this. Let's make it wide. I will go to FX slot 1 to open a reverb component and select Fruity Reverb 2. Before listening to the effect, I want to choose a preset first. If I click on this arrow icon here, which is plugin options, I can see the presets option. In the preset section, I will choose the venue. This preset sounds large and cool. I want you to rename Insert 6 channel. Open a Fruity Reverb 2 on the FX slot 1. Go to plugin options, then presets and select the venue. You can pause the video. I want to tweak some knobs in our reverb module. These two knobs are basically high-pass and low-pass filters. I will turn this all the way up to deactivate. The top left corner of FL Studio 12 says off. And we'll turn this all the way down to deactivate. The top left corner section says off again. I did this because I don't want to colorize the reverb effect with its own filters. I want you to deactivate these two filters like I did. Reverb effect made our piano larger and roomy. Let's add more movement to this piano. I will move my cursor to FX slot 2 this time. And open a Fruity delay bank. Let's hear the effect. I won't tweak any knobs or search for presets on this because it sounds good enough. I want you to click on FX slot 2 and open a Fruity delay bank. And we need to put a high-pass filter on this piano to completely cut the lower noise. I will open an equalizer on FX slot 3 and turn band 1 into a high-pass filter. I will set the curve order to gentilate and put this on 391 Hz. But while putting the filter, I also cut some strong and fundamental frequencies of piano as well. To avoid this, we need another type of cutting curve shape. I will right-click on the band again, then select Order. There is an option called Steep 8, let's choose it. And I will reset the width. Well, this steep curve shape solved the problem. I will move this filter to 450 Hz to cut further noise. I want you to open an equalizer on FX slot 3. Turn band 1 into a high-pass filter. Set the curve order to Steep 8, reset the width, and put the filter on 450 Hz. Don't forget to pause the video. We have opened these FX components in an order: reverb, delay, equalizer. This is our FX signal chain. FL Studio 12's FX modules are operating in a linear order. We call this order pre and post. According to our project, reverb is pre-delay, delay is post-reverb, or delay is pre-equalizer. Here is the logic. Our piano's notation is a signal. This signal goes to reverb module first. Reverb module makes a process on it and releases the signal. Then, released signal goes to delay unit. Delay unit makes a process on it and releases the signal. It goes like this. Alright, let's hear the piano again. The stereo image of this piano is different than our other instruments. I hear a strangeness. This section shows the volume of the instrument. But if we look at it closely, we can see that piano's right channel is louder than the left channel. This means piano is louder on our right speakers or monitors. I want this piano to sound nearly even on both sides. This knob here is panning. If I turn it to left, piano will sound louder in the left channel. If I turn it to right, piano will sound louder in the right channel. In this case, it is already louder in the right channel, so I need to move it to the left. 13% to the left is enough. I want you to use panning knob and turn it to the left. Value is 13%. You can pause the video. Let's move to the enhancer. This instrument was a kick before, but we made it shorter and also applied a pitch bend with pogo knob. We want this to be slappy and a bit punchy. I can hear a lot of unnecessary bass information, so we need an equalizer to cut them out. I will rename the Insert 7 channel, typing Enhancer. And put an equalizer on FX slot 1. I will turn band 1 into a high-pass filter and put it on 190 Hz. My order is steep 8. And also, I will reset the width again. I want you to rename Insert 7 channel. Open an equalizer, turn band 1 into a high-pass filter. Set your order to steep 8 and apply the filter on 190 Hz. Reset the width. You can pause the video. Let's hear what we have done so far. Cool. We have one instrument left. That is our small breaks instrument. I will rename Insert 8 channel, typing breaks. Let's hear it in solo mode. This one have some bass too. But we want these breaks to be as tiny as possible. So let's cut out that bass. I will open an equalizer again. Turn band 1 into a high-pass filter. Set my curve order to steep 8. Reset my width and put this filter on 360 Hz. It is now tiny but still effective. I want you to rename Insert 8 channel. Open an equalizer on the channel. Turn band 1 into a high-pass filter. Set your curve order to steep 8. Reset the width and put this filter on 360 Hz. You can pause the video. We are done. Let's hear the whole loop and also check the loudness meter. Our peak is still -6 dB. The loop sounds much clearer than before. Good job. FX components are the heart of mixing process. They can be really powerful if used properly and wisely. You learned how and where to use FX elements. Save this project and open a new one. Here is your performance task. Create a composition you like. There are no limitations to your instruments, notations, gain levels, etc. After composition process, apply some cuts and boosts with an equalizer. Use some reverb or delay. Browse FL Studio 12's FX menu and experiment with them. Next part is part 7, mastering. We will finalize our loop and make it peak at 0 dB while applying multi-band compression. If you like this video, leave us a comment. Want to learn more? Hit the subscribe button. See you on the next part.